Good morning, everyone, and good evening, wherever you are in this corner. Thank you very much for joining with us on this interesting session, effective decision making. And in this introductory session, learning how to meditate, a very unique meditation practice, Vihangam meditation. And I will be the host and conducting this whole session for roughly around 1 hour, 15 minutes, followed by some question and answers. This whole session will be divided into two parts. In the first part, we will be discussing about what is the meaning of decision, what is the meaning of decision and how we should take effective decision at our end so that we can take our right path in our day-to-day life. What we do is, in this particular whole session, we would be discussing about the meaning of decision. We would be discussing about different types of difficulties when we take decision, different type of activities, different type of stress, how the mind works, how we should balance our emotion, and how we have to forward to move in such a way that we don't regret. We always remain happy with our decisions. After this, the second phase session will be going towards meditation, where we learn how to meditate appropriately. Right now, we are live on Facebook also, to welcome all those viewers who are on Facebook right now. Please be mindful that after some time, start meditation. Meditation will not be live. If anyone wants to learn, those who are connected at Facebook, if you want to learn meditation, you will have to connect on Zoom, where the Zoom ID is 383-310-813. At the time when we would start meditation, this streaming on Facebook will be stopped. After we finish meditation, we will reconnect on Facebook with a live streaming to discuss further about meditation. But the meditation will not happen on Facebook. If you need to learn, please join Zoom. Thank you. Let us move towards the decision. What I think in our life, every moment we take some decision, one or another decision. Now, this is my decision. If I'm watching TV, that is my decision. If I'm reading a book, that is my decision. If I'm walking, that actually is my decision. Whatever we do, if I think something, that's my decision. Every moment we are taking one or another decision in our day-to-day life. When we sleep, when we go to the bed, that's our decision. We go to the bed to sleep. We are basically a bunch of all these decisions we take at all different time. In fact, every single moment here and there. That's how we have been moving our day-to-day life. If we are the decision maker, how efficient we are, how effective we are when we take our decision. Regret. When you take a decision and after some point, whatever the result would have come, you are regretting at your end. Oh no, I should not have taken this decision. Had I been taken this decision, it would have been much more better. Oh, okay, next time. And when the next time comes, you take another decision, but again you regret. I've had such kind of situation in your life at one different time point, because not all the decisions are the effective or efficient decisions. Why? We will learn today why, even if our decision, there are so many decisions we are taking, why we are regretful for our decisions, why it is not effective, why it is not optimal, why people don't honor our decision whenever we take a decision at any one time. There may be some tough decisions, there may be some easy decisions. Sometimes some people take easy decisions, they also do mistakes. And sometimes when there is a tough decision you have to take, you may take a very right decision at that tough time. Or some people may be capable enough to do that. How do they do? this world who, when the difficult comes, they just take decisions very quickly at their end. And those are very effective, very efficient, and applicable and appropriate to many people along with them. How does this happen? Is there a particular rule to take decisions? Yes, probably there would be some rule in our day-to-day life, how and which way we should take some decisions. Our decisions are not just ours. It depends which part of our society we are connected. We may be connected in our society with one way or another, or we may be connected in our society through our family members, or probably we may be connected in our society through our job, through our business-oriented activities. Society, we take decisions. Every moment we take decisions. Is there any specific rule? Is there any thumb rule so that people can identify those rules to implement it in their day-to-day life? Probably yes. Firstly, let me touch upon a few of the business etiquettes when you take decisions. How exactly you have to go for. If you go and search internet on Google, you will find so many different types of articles, so many different type of activities being done on Google to let people know and understand how to take an appropriate decision, which you can anytime read, which you can anytime try to imbibe and implement that in your day-to-day life. I'm not going to teach you the business etiquette, but whatever it is, I just want to highlight here that if some decision you have to take for your business, where it's not your personal thing as such, it's completely on business and job-oriented decision. There are certain rules, and absolutely there are certain rules. Some of these could be in such a way. You need to be informative. If you're taking a decision, you need to be informative. You cannot in just like in air. It's not possible in the business, at least, unless and until you are the person in your business. There is no one altogether different thing. But if you have a company, if you're working with a team, if there are so many people going together with you and you have to take a decision, you can't take this just in the air. No, you cannot, because you are responsible to take a decision which will impact many other people associated with you. Doesn't matter at what position you are, whether you are the CEO of the company, whether you are completely an analyst of that company, doesn't matter. Wherever you are, if you are taking a decision about a company, related with the company, related with your job, it's not just many other people associated with you when you take a decision. So you need to be informative. You need to be vigilant. What decision and what will be the impact of that decision that you must understand. And that understanding comes from your expertise. That understanding comes from your experience. The rule to take any specific decision is you need to be informative about the objective of your decision. And you have to be experienced enough to take the decision. If you're not experienced enough, remember that you will be doing mistakes. But doing mistake is not everyone and whoever is. They have been experiencing things on the basis of what they have been doing mistakes. Without doing mistakes, we cannot learn things. So when you take a decision, the first thing is don't worry about whether it is a mistake you're doing or not. Unless and until you take a step forward, your decision cannot be completed. So even in business etiquettes, you have to take a decision, you have to be informative, and you have to, through your experiences, what you're going to decide. However, despite so many of experiences here and there in your business, in your job, in your day-to-day activities related with whatever functioning you are doing, there have been many people who have been doing mistakes, no matter how experienced they are. What is the reason? If there is a CEO of a company, if there's a person who is doing his own business, whatever decision he or she takes, do you think it will always be right? Do you think It will always be with a happy ending? Probably not. I'm not talking about just at the end stage. Any single milestones when we talk about, and there's a decision associated with this, I'm talking about those activities. It may not be true that every single decision somebody takes is the right or is exactly as appropriate as it has to. There has to have some criteria behind this. If we come to the personal decisions, when we go on personal decision, it may not be based on data. Your business decision may be based on your information. It may be based on your data. What data you have. Personal decisions may not be dependent on data. And in fact, all the personal decisions are more or less not linked with any data. It's more linked with emotion. It's more linked with your own psychology. It's more linked with relationship. It's more linked with your emotions, your relationship, and your own philosophy about yourself. It completely depends on that. It's not dependent on the data. But nevertheless, when we take decisions, we need to be courageous. We need to take right decision, because still, despite we are taking a personal decision, there may be few specific factors, few specific things where it will impact not just you, but other people. In this respect, if some of the factors we need to identify, what are the factors based on which few decisions have to be taken, what would be those? So in my opinion, the very first one I think is it should be objective oriented. What is the objective to take a decision? There must be some reason why you are taking a decision. Depending on its own, you don't need to take any decision on that flow. But if you are trying to decide something, that means there has to have some objective behind your decision. You want to see the results, you want to see the change probably. You want to observe, you want to see the growth. You want to make some change, not just in you, not just in the process, but in some people also. You need to have an objective. Without objective, you can't take just a decision like that. I just want to do this, I just did it. No, it's not a proper decision making sense. You need to have a proper objective behind your decision. Objective oriented, it will be more effective, it will be more precise, and it will be more focused to take your decision with that objective. The second one, which I think is, we need to see whether this is going to impact me as an individual, or there are many more other people associated with this. If my son is saying that ice cream, and before he has to eat, he need to unwrap the ice cream. If he unwraps it and the wrap he just throws on the road, this decision consciously or unconsciously. Many times we do many decisions unconsciously. So if he throws that on the road just like this, probably definitely his decision out of habit or being unconscious what he's doing, because he thinks, no, it's not me, it's not mine. I just have to unwrap it and throw it out. Probably he might have seen this doing someone else. Someone else has done this, and that's on that basis he just did it. But that's his decision. But the point is it going to impact just him, or some more people will be impacted from this? In today's world, if you see why environment is being hampered by most of the people, because they just take decision about themselves. They don't see anything else. They don't see anyone else, that anyone else will be impacted by what decision they are taking or not. Because they just think about themselves. There are certain cases, there are few around us, which is not just connected with us, it is connected with many people. In that respect, whenever that decision is not just for me, associated with that decision. So we need to identify, we need to look around to observe, to identify whether this decision, whatever I'm going to take, is just impacting me, or it will take care of more people, or it is going to impact some more people associated with me, or even not associated with me. That need to be factored out before taking a decision. But all these things will come only when you keep on taking decision consciously. Like the example which I gave you about my son on the road, he took a decision. How conscious he is completely depends on him and of course his family members. Consciously, with a pause, think about what I'm doing. Doesn't matter right or wrong, but at least a pause is important to identify whether it is appropriate to do or not. After the pause, mind and mental exercise, if you identify what you have to do, that is your decision. It may be right or it may be wrong still. It may be appropriate. It may not be appropriate even then, but at least you are conscious about your decision, and then the responsibility comes to you more with that conscious. And eventually, as someone continues practicing taking decision consciously, become a habit, even for a small point or a larger point. Take a big decision, small decision, right decision, wrong decision. You will converge towards making it more effective, making it more size, and making it conscious at your level to take any kind of decision. I think is emotional or non-emotional. Most of the time, people think that when we go for business decisions, people say, oh, don't be emotional. There is nothing emotion called when you talk about office. If it is not your office, you are not the owner in that case. Even if you are the owner, people don't say become emotional. Emotion doesn't have too much of space when you take official decisions. You have to be practical. That's what people say. Be practical. But I'm sorry to say, even being practical is emotional. There is nothing which is not emotional. Everything is emotional. Emotional doesn't mean that you are overwhelmed by something. You are crying. You are becoming very angry. You are becoming very happy. That's not emotion only. Emotion means you are more conscious about it. Your emotion means your feeling is attached to it. If you're doing everything and anything without feeling, I don't think you are doing actually. We all are human beings. Without feeling, cannot do anything. We are not inert objects. We are considered as human only because this entity exists with us, and that is the feeling. Feeling defines the life. If feeling is not there, it cannot be considered as life. So how can a person who is a human being taking a decision without any association of emotion? It's not possible. Yes, it is very much possible that he's aware about his emotion or not. That is altogether different point. So that's about consciousness. Being more conscious about your own emotions of other people who are associated with that is very important to identify. So in this respect, emotional or non-emotional is categorized. Emotional means you are conscious about the emotion attached to the decision. Non-emotional means you are not conscious about your decision taking, either for yourself or for other people associated. Next one, at what cost? Many times we take certain decisions with a huge cost. There are sometimes we take decisions just like this without any cost. It just taken. That's it. Difficult decisions always comes with a cost. Always comes with a cost. And believe me, any decision is a difficult decision at one particular time, at least for the first time, maybe. It is always difficult. Always. That means we are juggling with opportunity cost. At what cost we are taking this decision? Are we going to sacrifice something in this decision? There is something which we need to add on top of it to make this decision. Are we losing out something? What about our resources? Resources doesn't mean only I'm talking about business ticket. No, I'm talking about on the personal front as well. What I'm going to take this particular decision for my relationship, impact my family member in a different way. I'm going to take this decision. Sometimes we need to take hard decisions. Say, for example, I have some examples for the kids because the activities of the kids can be elaborated in a much more broader way when we go for our office, our personal life, and anything. So sometimes parents may need to be hard to their kids, to their children. That's their decision to become hard. Why? Because they know that they need to be tuned into the discipline. And sometimes a hard decision is important to make them understand why it is being taken. But is there any cost involved in this? Yes, there is a cost involved in this. As a parent, if you take a hard decision for your kid where you think that if I would not be hard at this time, that's your decision. If you don't get hard at that time point to your kid, you believe that my kid will not learn what I want him to learn or what he should learn. He's not learning. I need to be a little bit strict. I need to be a little bit hard. Is there any cost involved in this? It is. On which basis we decide what cost it involved? The very first cost is whether your son or your daughter understands your emotion attached at that time point or not. If your children doesn't understand why you are tough at this time to them, there may be difficulty in the relationship, whether you understand or you don't, whether you know or you don't, even whether your children understand that or not, doesn't matter, it's a different thing, but it comes with a cost. But ultimately, it's your decision, what you want. Whether you want to achieve one specific objective at a specific cost, or you don't want to bear that cost and just let the things be as it is, whichever way it is. Your decision. How appropriately you can take that decision is completely depending on you and only no one else. And for that reason, we need to learn things. And that's the another factor that our decisions should be on learning basis. Learning can be from infinite ways. We can read books, we can talk to people, we can go for training, we can have a self-learning by our own, we can learn through our own experience. But don't forget about what the past. The past is always to learn from. Without learning, we cannot take right, appropriate decision. At one time, for same situation, for same condition, whatever decision you take, if the same decision has to be taken after some time for the same environment, for the same people, in the same manner, it may not be true. Time is changing. People have got experience. The situation may be different. The feeling may be different. The emotion may be different. The expectations may be different. But all these things can be understood only when the decision we have taken and in which form we have taken the decision. Okay, lies. There's something which is called right or wrong when we take a decision. Somebody may categorize it right, somebody may categorize it wrong. And believe me, at one time frame, at one point, it may appear right, but after a certain time period, it may appear wrong. Very possible. At one particular time, in one particular situation, your decision was taken for that time in that situation. You probably have taken that rightly. After some time, can it be possible that it appeared wrong? It is possible. On which basis? On the basis of evaluation, on the basis of the result, the way it comes after you have taken the decision. If the result is positive, it doesn't mean that you have taken the right decision. If the result is positive, that doesn't mean you had taken a right decision. Result is not the way you want it to be. That doesn't mean that you had taken a wrong decision. Because from the point of taking decision, the time point, from the time of taking a decision and to the time point at which the result came through because of that decision, there could be still many points, many nodes, which can disturb, which can deviate your decision to reach out to the objective finish. So it's not just taking decision at one time. There could be multiple milestones in between to maintain that decision to arrive to the ultimate objective. At any one time when we take a decision, we can categorize it right or wrong, but it will be replicating exactly the objective result in that form may not be true. So that's why I used to say that whenever we are in this life, we are taking decisions at every moment. We have taken one decision at one time. We are taking multiple small decisions to maintain that decision. So we are a bunch of decisions, right or wrong is different thing. Objective achieved or not is different thing. These are all different types of activities related with decision. In the same form, we need to identify whether we are happy with our decision or whether we are regretting with our decision. Understand that will also change as the time changes. If I'm taking a decision right now for one thing, probably I may be happy. After some time point, I may regret. Oh no, why did I take that decision? Why it happens? Because of lack of information, lack of maturity, lack of experience, and lack of thought process behind it. Along with this, there could be multiple different types of factors in this world. We are not living in a jungle to take decisions for just ourselves. No, we're living in a society. Our life is being impactful. We are impacting lives of many. We have limited capability to control everything outside. In that situation, there will always be a tug of war between right and wrong, and happy and regret. You need to be. But the point is, how much you minimize these to deviate is the most important thing. If something is going wrong, not to worry, learn from it, analyze it, identify where the problem was. If at one time you had a happy decision and at one time you regret from that, you need to identify what happened, why it is like this. Basis, I think, in my opinion, although when we start discussing about making decision, how effective it could be, where exactly one can go for, there are so many different things which could be discussed to a larger extent. But inner core, because ultimately anything and everything is linked with us, is linked with our core inner self, nothing else. That's why I used to say, emotional or non-emotional, everyone is emotional. Everyone has heart. Everyone has mind. Everyone has intellect. Everyone has feeling. Not having a feeling is also a feeling. We cannot be without feeling if we have to take decisions. In this respect, ultimately where the root is. The root is the core within. Not taking appropriate decision at any one time, howsoever effective, ineffective, appropriate, inappropriate, doesn't matter. Sometimes you feel that there was something missing, thing which I had way. The only reason probably is you are not conscious about yourself, stabilized, you're not controlled, you are not calm down at the time when you are taking decision. Many times there are some people who take decision just out of aggression. Oh, this is the situation, I have to do this way. There are many people who are so many people are there who take later on. So how much distrust you are, how much calm you are from within, especially during hard time, during the tough decision time, you have to be calm. Complete calm down, because unless and until you're calm down, you will not be able to take effective and appropriate decision in your life, no matter what we are talking about, no matter what. We need to understand ourselves. We need to understand our core self. And that's why what I understand is the appropriateness of the decision lies within you, in your core. The ultimate objective, even if you want to take an appropriate decision at any one time, you need to sync with yourself. You don't have to sync with anyone else. Take a decision, ultimately you have to sync with yourself. What is the meaning of syncing with yourself? You are just one person. Then what is the meaning of syncing with yourself? Syncing with yourself means multiple entities with me, associated with me. Say, for example, my sense organs, my mind, my intellect, my thoughts, my feeling, and my habits also. All these are associated with me, and they may not sync with each other, and my feeling as well. They may not sync with each other. What is the meaning of that? The meaning, simple example is, the meaning is my intellect says, Subhash, run every day 2 kilometers. My intellect says, based on whatever analysis my mind or my intellect did on that basis. It says you should run, jog every day 2 kilometers. Completely based on analysis, that is completely based on analysis of my body, that is based on analysis from the TV, from the internet, from YouTube. The decision point which my brain says, my intellect says, you should run 2 kilometers every day. My mind says, no, Subhash, come on. You have this work, you have that task, your body is not supporting, you are tired. Oh no, not right now. It is too hot outside. That's the collection point of the mind. A leg may say a different thing. Oh no, come on, I'm tired now. I cannot. Oh no, it's not possible to run every day 2 kilometers. No, come on. You have three different entities associated with me, which can give signal to me as an individual, where all the three are not syncing together. They're not syncing together. Own entities, they have their own activities, they have their own situation, but ultimately every feeling is coming to itself. That's the meaning of desynchronization. We have left things on its own basis. We are not doing anything to sync with ourselves. Our feeling says something else, but we are not following it. Our body doesn't follow it. Our mind doesn't follow it. Our ego stops us. Our ego stops us. Then what to do? This is happening because we are missing with our core. We need to function. We need to work out. We need to understand. We need to connect with our core. Once the core is connected, once we are conscious about our core, no matter what time, where, what time, in which situation we have to take a decision, it will be appropriate. It will be appropriate. I'm telling this from my own experience. I have to take so many different decisions at very young age. Very young age, I have to take very strong decisions. Very, very strong decisions. If a person sees those decisions at that time point, they may say you are doing an inappropriate, ineffective, inefficient decision. But I had a vision. I had my own understanding. I had my own thinking with myself. And when today, after say 20 years, when I see whether my decisions were correct or not, even nowadays when I take a decision, I know it may look inappropriate for many, But to those who are conscious about their core, it will not look inappropriate to them. Again, here the decision is of individual. What do you want? So, what do you want to achieve? How much you want to strengthen yourself, whether you want to know yourself or not, whether you want to reach out to your core, the reach out to the core to core is not. That is your decision. Even right now, we are going through this presentation, this discussion. Not my decision about you. It's your decision. How conscious you are, it's you who have to decide. Whether you're functioning on that consciousness or not, it's you who have to decide it. No one else can. You are connected to the objective in the right way. Right way means through your core understanding. Once you are connected to the objective in a right way through your core, the core level, your decision would always be effective, efficient, appropriate, and welcomed by most of the people. Not all the people. None of the decisions have been welcomed by all the people associated with you. Don't have an expectation like that. Do you know why? Even if you are completely correct, it may not be accepted the way you want it or the way it has to be accepted by others. Do you know why? Because others are not connected to their core. If every single individual who are taking decision or a part of decision, all of them are connected to their own core, then all decisions will be welcome by all those people who are connected to their core, no matter who has taken the decision. Because if I talk about spirituality on a way of a spiritual world, then each one of us, we don't have any difference between one or two people at the level of consciousness. The differences come because of our habits. The differences come because of our own thinking. The differences come on the basis of what we perform on that basis only. The core, still we are connected to our core to take any decision. It will be most appropriate one for anyone and everyone. So now the point comes. Okay, now understood that this is the core and we have to connect ourselves with the core. What next? Where is the core? How do I know how to connect with the core? If suppose a person thinks, okay, you said that we need to connect to our core. We need to be more conscious. We need to be more effective for ourselves. How do we do this? So who is there who can make you balanced, who can strengthen you at your own core? Who will help you? Or is there any situation? Is there any course going on? Is there any study going on? Is there any book going on or somewhere there available? Who can strengthen your own balancing factor at your core level? Is there something available? I'm sorry to say, yes and no both. It is yes available. There are so many things available in this world now. Many people have been experiencing different things at different time points. There are so many discussions are going on at every different level to understand all these kind of things. As and when the world is evolving, it is available, but it doesn't matter. Why? Because unless and until you connect yourself with those, it doesn't matter. It's not just for 1 day, 2 days. It's not just that read the book and done, finished. No, you have to implement it. You have to include that in your life. For a book, suppose there is a book of 300 pages. How many hours do you take to read that book? 15 hours in total? And after you read that book, of course, you will not read that book in just 1 day. You will take few days to read it out. Read it out. How many of us will implement those readings in our day-to-day life? How do we implement? Then we need to take a decision to complete the implementation. Then we need to take a decision to maintain that implementation. Then we need to take a decision to not to be dragged from it. To imbibe. So there are so many decisions you will have to take. How all these things are happening? I'm not talking about books. I'm not talking about the talks. I'm not talking about anything else. I'm just talking about you and your core. What I believe, if somebody has to do to reach out to his or her core level, is just the one thing, and that is meditation. nothing else. Right meditation. In today's time, there have been so many different types of meditation floating around. People don't know what meditation they are doing, why they are doing, what is the objective, what is the science behind it. They don't know in reality. But still they're doing, at least they're doing. That's the good part. But one should connect super most effective meditation process because we are talking about the core or just to relax. We're not talking about just to calm down. We're not talking about a temporary fix. We're talking about the core of you. That is only the meditation, the right meditation can help you to balance yourself, to strengthen yourself, stand out compared to all others, to become the best. When you take a decision, and it's only and only meditation which can help you because it simply hits to your core and it rectifies, it fixes all of your problems from inside. Outside is different thing from inside first. Because unless and until your engine is tightened up, suppose I have a screw. Fortunately, I don't know from where there is a screw made kept here. So suppose I have a screw. If I keep it loose, the system will not function appropriately. I need to tighten it up. If I need to tighten up my mind, if I need to sharpen my intellect, if I have to purify my heart, is there any screw which tightens up? Yes, and that's the meditation. Only one screw, only one tool which can tighten the screw of your mind, which can tighten your screw of intellect, which can tighten your screw of feeling, which can tighten a screw of your decision making. Everything, one tool, meditation. And that's what the objective of meditation and other objective is. After knowing the decision factors, after knowing our day-to-day life activities, how to correct ourselves, how to correct our basis, with the help of meditation. That's why I always recommend everyone, no matter who you are, whether you are a small person, big short, doesn't matter. Wherever you are taking decision, isn't it? You are taking decision about your life. You are taking decision about so many people. Are you efficient? Do you regret at any one time about your decision? Think about Einstein. Think about other scientists. Think about even today's so big shots are there. Those who are no more. Go and read out their statements. Which statements? Statements when they are leaving this body at that time point, few days before. Check it out. See what they say. They always say that I regret that the way I had to lead my life, I missed it out. Why did they say? They're such a big person. They earn so many things. They earn the respect. They earn the money. They established something. Many people are following them. But towards the end, I regret that the way I had to lead the life, I did not understand. Why did they say that? What was missing? What was missing? Core was missing. Outside may be different, but outside will not sustain for long. The core will sustain as ever. And the meditation is the only thing which can help you be you as you. And then thereafter, whatever decision you will take, that decision will be as appropriate as it has to be, as effective as it is. Now, we are talking about meditation. We are talking about controlling our mind. We are controlling about stabilizing ourselves within ourselves. We are talking about awakening our consciousness. The dormant consciousness needs to be awakened. That's what the process of meditation does. And it's very easy. Meditation is the thing which can calm down your mind completely. Calm down mind doesn't mean that it will not function. No, it's not. It's calm down. Then you can take decision. The disturbance happens because of the mind. The stress. The stress comes from the mind. not many other things which is attached to the mind. And that's why the mind needs to be calmed down to take any decision at any one, we take it out. And meditation is the best process, the best method to have a controlled and calmed mind. But it's not just for 1 day or 2 days. It's a continuous journey. Practice. Not a specific guidance. You need to experience this. Go to a center, 5 days, 10 days, I will do meditation as appropriately as it could be, leaving everything behind, no mobile, nothing, no thinking, no talking, just 10 days. Very nice. You'd achieve something definitely. Once you come back from there, you start decaying again towards your previous life. If you are not able to implement what you learned during those 10 days, now after coming back, there is no use. One factor, and that's it. You learned, you did not learn the way it had to be. That means you did not take a right decision at that time point. Meditation has to be started, not for 1 hour, 2 hours, 5 hours in a single day, at least for the beginners. Because it's beginner. You need to have 5-minute, 10-minute meditation. But recommendation is to do it on a regular basis, daily basis. Because practice makes a man perfect. Many people do meditation. Many people do meditation. But they are not doing the right thing. I don't hesitate to say this. Objective of meditation, the very beginning, first objective of the meditation at the beginning time is to have a control over the mind. If anything else you are doing with the objective that you are not controlling your mind, objective is not to control the mind, it's not meditation. People do usually, people imagine. It is not meditation. In meditation, there is no imagination. There is no space, there is no place for imagination when you meditate. Meditation is always a different thing. And imagination is always a different thing. They are not the same thing. The same thing. What we don't do, we don't think in meditation. If you are thinking something, just yourself. If you are thinking something when you meditate, it's not a meditation. It's something else. And there should not be the movement of your mind when you meditate. If your mind is still moving from one object to another, from one place to another, from one thinking to another, from one imagination to another, it's not a meditation. Doesn't matter how slow, how fast you do. Even if your mind is moving along with your breathing, it's not the meditation. It's something else. So we need to understand what is meditation. Meditation is just the starting phase of meditation is have a process to make your mind as still, as calm as possible. If something has to be calm, it cannot move. It's a process of movement of mind. Imagination is a process of movement of mind. So when you are talking about calm down of a mind, calmness and stillness of a mind, your mind should not move. It should be staying at one place, wherever it could be, but just the beginning of meditation. And in that respect, if you progress from there onward, meditation takes you to realize the truth about you, and that's the core which we want to learn, want to know, to take the right and appropriate decision as and when it has to be taken. That's what meditation does. So with this, now we have to move towards the practice to learn meditation, which enables us to control the mind, emotions, our sense organs, and correct our basis to take the effective decision and when we want to take in our day-to-day life. The Vihangam meditation is the purest, the ancient most, unique meditation practice through which anyone can uplift the level from one to another to another to another. Doesn't matter at what level you are at one point. Doesn't matter. Through that, whoever we are not the ultimate most perfect one. There is always flaws. Wherever we are. From there, it elevates us to the next level. That's what Vihangam meditation does. So now it's time to control our mind. Now it's time to become more conscious. Now it's time to meditate. Now it's time to practice, to calm down our mind. It's a practice just for a few minutes. That's what we are going to do with Vihangam meditation right now. So those who are connected on Facebook, for your information, we are going to stop this live streaming on Facebook for a few minutes, maybe 10 to 12 minutes, because we cannot do it on Facebook. Any one of you who are connected on Facebook right now who wants to learn or even practice together with us the Vihangam meditation, you may join on Zoom 383-310-813. Facebook live stream will stop now. So on the this meditation technique, Vihangam meditation technique, is very powerful meditation where we try to work on our mind to control it from the outer sphere. There are 5 different stages of Vihangam meditation, which was designed by Devji Maharaj, and all these 5 stages of meditation have different objectives. Just to mention it, the first stage of Vihangam meditation, the objective is to control our mind from the outer sphere. Vihangam meditation is to work on the thoughts in the inner side and to purify our habits, purify our mind to larger extent. In the third stage of Vihangam meditation, we work on to awaken the Kundalini, which is called the 10th door of ourself. There are 9 doors. There is one secret door. We have to cross, opening the Kundalini by to cross that 10th door. That happens, the practitioner does this in the meditation. Once that is done, you come to your own basis. That means the basis of the soul itself. And from there onward, you as a soul will practice Vihangam meditation. That's the real meditation of Vihangam. In the 4th stage, once you have the self-realization stage, then you move towards becoming more and more conscious, and you get the darshan of the Sadguru, the Nitya Anadi Sadguru, the eternal master, who takes you to the 5th stage to cross another subtle called 11th door, beyond which the Almighty, the Supreme Being, is to be experienced. And that happens in the 5th stage of Vihangam meditation. But it is more control of our mind so that we can rectify our day-to-day problems, so that we can take right decision with right intensity in the right degree form. That's what the objective is. And first stage of Vihangam meditation does a lot of things to us so that in our day-to-day life, in this world outside, we can lead ourselves in a much more efficient way. There are many more different benefits of the first stage of Vihangam meditation, where at one side, it can lower down your stress level, it can balance your blood pressure, your breathing will be channelized in a much more stronger way, your immunity will be corrected, your eyesight becomes, it works on balancing factor as on your emotion, brings a lots and lots of confidence in the practitioner. Definitely it will bring you to your core, and because of that you become more and more happy. And once you become more happy, once you go more towards peaceful life, your life will become more and more satisfactory. If you are addicted to one or another thing, silently this meditation works on your addiction to take you out from it. If you really want to test it, no matter what type of addiction we are talking about, meditation on a regular basis, your addiction will simply be vanished just by practicing the meditation. And there are lots of different kinds of physical, mental, and spiritual benefit of Vihangam meditation. It's up to you what decision you take at this time or even in future to practice this Vihangam meditation. So based on time, this is what we had today, where we were discussing about making effective decision and how meditation actually, especially Vihangam meditation, the first stage of Vihangam meditation, can help us to take decision at right time. Meditation is not a part of your daily routine, you are missing something in your life. Take the right decision right now at your end. To facilitate this platform, what we have done is we are practicing meditation on a daily basis, 30 minutes, which includes a couple of breathing exercises and the same meditation practice we just did within 30 minutes every day in the morning and every day in the evening, irrespective of anything. We are on time, we are on schedule, hardcore 30 minutes time. Monday to Friday in the morning, we do it at 6 a.m. Singapore time. And Saturday and Sunday, we do it 8 a.m. Singapore time. And in the evening, every day, we connect at 8 p.m. Singapore time. So from whichever country you are connected right now, you can correct or you can change your time zone according to what Singapore time is and what your country time is. This is completely free for everyone. Don't take any charges. We don't charge anything for anyone. It's just for the benefit of every single individual. Anyone can join from anywhere, no matter what age you have, but should be 7 years at least. And upper age can be anything as long as you're able to listen, understand, and practice meditation. It is open for all, everyone, doesn't matter from which country you belong to or what race, what completely beyond those. The Zoom link remains the same all the time. You can just note it down, 383-313. I'd really like to thank every one of you who has spent some time with me, understanding, making right decision, effective decision, appropriate decision, without any regret, and going more towards a happy decision with the help of meditation, which can bring you to sync with your own core. Thank you very much for joining with us. And from here onward, I'd like to open the door for anyone and everyone to ask, have any, please. Any question anyone has? So this floor is now open. Unmute yourself to ask if you have any question at any one time related with meditation, related with decision-making factors or anything.
Thank you, Subhashji. A wonderful presentation, and you really worked very, very hard for all of us. And really, there is no word, and we give very big clap. Thank you very much. You are so dedicated, so hard work to teach every day, morning and evening. And today, effective decision meditation helps a lot. Thank you very much once again. Jai Shri Sadgurudev. Everybody, we should practice. Then it is actually the advantage of getting the benefit from Mr. Subhashji. And it is our privilege that we should every day practice morning and evening, at least 10 minutes. Then we will realize the benefits of that. Thank you very much. Jai Shri Sadgurudev.
Thank you very much, Padaji, for your wonderful comments. If anyone else has any specific feedback, any specific comments or any question, please feel free to unmute yourself.
Hi, Shubhas, Janet here.
Hi, Janet.
Hi, thank you very much for your dedication. It's very much appreciated. Yeah, I'm still considered as a newbie in this meditation, but I have one question. Sometimes when I'm too tired when I meditate, I seem to doze off. So this is definitely not the right way, right?
Okay, so I would suggest don't worry on that. If you fall asleep when you are meditating, it's not something which is unusual. Many practitioners have experienced this at all different time points, at all different stages also. So if you are falling asleep, what I see a positivity behind this is that meditation is impacting your mind at least. Because if you fall asleep, that means your mind is coming under the control and it's probably going inactive at that time point. So in a way, I would say this is going in a right direction. The only thing what you have to do is, when you realize that you are falling asleep, that means your eyes will be closed, your ears will hear something going on, but you are falling asleep. As soon as you realize that you are falling asleep, you need to become conscious at that time point. And whenever that time comes, it doesn't matter whether at the beginning itself or after 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, or 5 minutes, it's okay.
Okay.
For 5 minutes, that's for sure. Definitely in between, you will realize, oh, am I sleeping? Immediately wake up and start the process of meditation. So this may continue for a few days, further from here onward, on and off, on and off, on and off. You're sleeping, falling asleep. This will make you more and more conscious and more alert. And eventually, you will come to a point that you will not fall asleep. That's for sure. Keep practicing. It will really help you not to fall asleep. And another thing is, most of the time, those people who fall asleep, there are reasons behind that. Either your sleep, if you're practicing in the morning, your sleep was not appropriate. That's why you're falling asleep during meditation. Or if you're doing in the evening, you're falling asleep. So if in the morning you're practicing and you fall asleep, that means you need to take proper sleep. Don't sleep just for 2, 4, or 5 hours. You need to have at the beginning time sleep. In the evening, when you sit for meditation, please wash your face and your eyes, especially. Few drops of drops of water must go inside the eye. And then when you practice thereafter, sit down properly for the meditation, there will be less and less chances to have a sleep mode during the meditation.
Okay. All right. Noted. Thanks for the clarification. Thank you.
Thanks, Janet.
Yeah.
Thanks for connecting. Any more questions from anyone else? Okay, seems not. So here I would like to the session. Thank you very much for joining with us. We'll connect today in the evening as usual, 8 p.m. Singapore time for the practice. Please do join. And if you want to invite your friends, family members, please feel free to do so. Everyone is welcome. Till then, remain safe and healthy. And have a nice time. Thank you. And just have a day. Bye-bye.